Thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. Glad you made it today. Wanted to talk to you about 100% ratings with the VA. What does that look like? What does it entail? What does it really mean? Because what I have found is that there's a lot of misperceptions. There's a lot of definitions that are misconstrued. A lot of verbiage that's used by the VA that sounds like one thing, but really they mean something else. And the people that get hurt in this is the veterans who should be applying for benefits that for some reason they end up self-selecting out of. So with that, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, comment below, all that good stuff. It really helps to get the word out so we can really shed a little more awareness, I guess, on the VA process for disability compensation. So when it comes to VA, a couple of the misperceptions and a couple of the things that I see with regard to the VA claims process and kind of information, I guess, that we all have and the self-selecting out of it kind of hinges from our military service. So regardless of what branch you were in, there's a lot of, don't go to the battalion aid station, don't see the medic, don't see the corpsman, don't go, get seen for any sort of condition. Just take some Motrin, drink some water, change your socks, drink some water, and move on, right? So there's a lot of rub some dirt on it mentality in the military, and I get it. We want to, either be able to promote to the next rank, or you want to stay in a deployable status. You don't want to be labeled a dirtbag, whatever the case is, right? So there's a lot of that. That kind of seems to transcend over into that now you're out and you're filing a claim with the VA, or maybe you're thinking about it, or maybe you're not even sure if you should. So what happens is we'll hear things like 100% rating, and it's deceiving because we automatically assume, because everybody knows 100% is the maximum, that's 100%. So we assume that 100% means that's the maximum that a veteran can receive in VA benefits. And if we know just the basics about the VA and the benefits that are provided through disability compensation, we understand that there is a monetary benefit that ties to the percentage. So if 100% is the maximum, then that should be reserved for example, the person that was rolling in the convoy and got hit with the IED and got messed up, right? That 100% rating should be for that person. Well, that's not quite how it works. So there's a whole other rating schedule, and it's called Special Monthly Compensation. Special monthly compensation is more on the severe side of service-connected conditions, and it's a whole other rating schedule that's beyond the percentages. It's a letter system, and it breaks it down, and I'll do a video on that in the future. There's other videos out there too that talk about special monthly compensation, and it's on the VA's website, so you could go there too. But the bottom line is that special monthly compensation is a compensation rating schedule that is used for more severe circumstances. And it will pay out, up to $10,000 or higher per month in VA compensation. So 100% doesn't mean that's the worst case scenario for the veteran, okay? So unfortunately, a lot of us hear 100% and we think that that's the maximum, so why would I rate? I have my hands, I have my feet, I can walk, I could play golf, I could do these things. So the bottom line is that you need to open up your mindset a little bit and educate yourself and understand what's out there so you can appropriately gauge how the VA rating schedules work and the different levels that you can be. I know that I have seen individuals who were rated at 100%, and I know what they're at and I understand it, and then somebody else finds out that they're 100%, and then they wonder why the heck that person should be at 100% because they're walking around. And it's because of the misperceptions, right? It's the misinformation that's out there, or the lack of information that's out there with regard to 100%. Now, another one is you'll hear the words service-connected disability. So service-connected disability is also very deceiving. So even though you may understand that it is within the context of a transitioning service member or veteran filing a claim with the VA, in that context, service-connected disability, we tend, and when I say we, I mean veterans in general, will tend to make up our own definitions around that phrase, okay, service-connected disability. And often what we see is a definition something like, well, service-connected disability obviously means that due to my service in the military, I have a condition that was as a result of that made me disabled in some way or fashion. So in other words, an injury that was so bad that now I have a limp for life, or I have a range of motion issue for life. And so that is service-connected disability, and those are the things that I can file a claim with the VA for. And yes, but no. Right? So yes, and that you can file a claim for an injury that was incurred during your service that caused you some sort of disability, of course. But that's not what the VA means. What the VA means is a service-connected disability is simply any condition that's diagnosable, ranging from motor tics, so like a blink in the eye or a twitch in the face, those types of things, all the way to arthritis or sleep apnea currently, or tinnitus, ringing in the ear currently, or heartburn, bad heartburn, GERD, migraine headaches, lumbar strains, degenerative disc disease. It's anything, right? So it's really anything that you can get diagnosed for that has residual effects or is chronic in nature, meaning that it's some sort of an ongoing issue, right? So as long as it's diagnosable and it has some sort of long-term effects, then chances are you can get that condition rated with the VA. So it's not that the military caused it, it's that it manifested during your time in service. There's 3 things for a successful claim. One is a diagnosed condition. Well, I actually like to start this way. So there's 3 things. One is time in service. That gives us a time frame, right? So you have active duty time. You did 4 years, 6 years, 30 years, whatever it is. Gives you a time frame of which you can work with. That time frame is what we're looking at when we have a diagnosed condition. You have a diagnosed condition is number 2. Number 3 is a nexus, a link between that diagnosed condition and your time in service. So the VA is essentially saying, show me that that condition manifested in your time in service. If you can prove that, you should be golden. You have active duty time, you have a diagnosed condition, and you have proof that it manifested during your time of service. Okay? So it could gradually get worse over time, and that's fine. But the main point is that you can show that it started during your time in service, and it could be a whole range of different sort of ailments, like I had mentioned. So a quick example of how high some of these ratings can be. Currently, sleep apnea can be rated, if you have a CPAP machine prescribed for your sleep apnea, can be rated as high as 50%. Migraines can be rated as high as 50%. GERD can be rated as high as 60%. Insomnia, due to, let's say, a back condition, you have a bad back, you can't sleep good because you're tossing and turning, I've seen rated at 30%. So you can get some substantial ratings on a few different conditions. So your path to 100 could be laid out in these different sorts of ailments that you may have. Now, VA math is funny math, and I will tell you, I'll give you a quick example. 3 50s, if you have a 50 for your head, a 50 for your back, and a 50 for your leg, just for easy numbers here, works like this. 50, 50, 50 does not equal 150 in the VA's world. 3 50s works like this. Your highest number percentage claim, which in this case they're all 50s, so 50%. The VA goes, okay, you're 50% bad. Well, guess what? That means you're still 50% good. So set that aside. Okay, the next 50% is off of your 50% bad. So 50% of 50 is 25. So you're 25% bad. Add that to your 50 bad. Now you're 75 bad. That means you're still 25 good. So let's look at your next rating, which is 50. Your 50 of 25 is 12.5. Added to your 75 is 87.5. They look for any more? You don't have any more. So 87.5 will round to 88. Then it'll look and go, okay, nearest 10, and they'll bounce it to 90. So you would be a 90% rated veteran with 350% rating rated conditions. So with that, I just wanted to shine a little bit of light on kind of the path to 100%. Not so much the specific conditions that get you there, but more just to shine some light on what's available, what sort of conditions, which is everything, and just give a little light on the overall process and path to getting a higher rating. So with that, we'll go ahead and cut it here. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.